Okay, then we also have quadratic inequalities. Oftentimes when we do quadratic inequalities, you can factor the quadratic. So what you want to do is factor the quadratic, make a chart, and I'll show you how to make the chart in a second, and fill it in using test values, and then choose your answer. Based on your inequality. Okay, factoring, what goes along with factoring is you want to make sure that everything is on one side. So, an example of something like this would be, let's say I had x squared minus 5x is greater than 24. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is pull everything over to one side, so I get x squared minus 5x minus 24 is greater than 0. Now I have to factor this, and what does it factor into? Minus,
x plus 8, x minus 3.
Close, minus 8 plus 3. So now I'm going to make my chart. And in my chart, over here, I'm going to put, so the easiest way to say this is this. I would solve for these. So if I were to solve, what would I get? If I solve in the parentheses, set m equals to 0 and solve, what would I get? -3 and 8. So there are 3 specific parts to this number line.
Why is it negative 3?
Because x plus 3 equals 0, minus 3 is -3, and then x minus 8 is positive 8. So in the first part, and I'm going to use, because it's just a greater than, I'm going to use circles on each part. So this would be from negative infinity to -3. This one would be from -3 to 8, and this one would be from 8 to infinity. This is 1, 2, and 3, all the different parts on the number line. On the top here, I write my x minus 8, and I write my x plus 3, and then I write answer. Now, all you care about is whether it's positive, negative, or 0, because all you care about is whether or not it's going to be greater than 0. So you don't even have to do the thought process of figuring out numbers. What you do is you pick some test value in here, an easy test value. So something from negative infinity to -3 maybe is -100. If I put -100 in here, that's going to make this negative. If I put -100 in here, it'll make this negative. What's a negative times a negative?
Positive.
A positive. In between here and here, -3 and 8, an easy number to pick would be 0. 0 minus 8 would give you what? Negative. 0 plus 3 would give you positive. A negative times a positive gives you what?
Negative.
Okay, and then a number from 8 to infinity, maybe 100. So that would be positive, positive, and a positive times a positive is a positive. Once I've made my chart, I can pick the answers that work. I have to, it says choose your answer based on your inequality. My inequality says greater than 0, so am I going to use positive numbers or negative numbers?
Positive.
Because greater than 0 says positive, so I want my answer to be positive. So then I get this one and this one. So my answer is negative infinity to -3 union 8 to infinity.